You're unmuted. You're ready.
Oh, do I need to do this too? All right, it's 7 o'clock, and I'd like to call tonight's board meeting to order. And with that, let's have opening exercises, the pledge to the flag, and a moment of silence afterwards. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good. Thank you. All right. Christy, would you take the roll, please?
Sure. John Cassiano, Willard Delaker, Joseph Fattinger, Todd Hernandez,
Here.
Todd Leiser,
Here.
Rosemarie Lister,
Here.
Alan Rex,
Here.
Rachel Scheffler,
Here.
James Warfel.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. We did hear from other individuals about potentially not being here and maybe a little bit later. Okay, with that, we move on to approval of the agenda.
Motion approved.
Motion Rex,
Second.
second Lizer. Any comments or questions? All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, nay? All right, ayes have it, so be it. All right, this is the time we'd like to welcome everybody. Welcome. Is there anybody in attendance?
There is.
Okay. And we'll move on to courtesy of the floor, so I'll extend that courtesy to anybody that's online.
Raise your hand.
Please raise your hand, and we'll zoom you in the chat.
I do see one. Barbara Kistler.
She's on the agenda for you.
Dr. Kistler, we unmuted your mic. We can let you speak later on in the agenda when we have your item scheduled.
Thank you.
Okay. There is another individual, Kathy Meath. Mrs. Meath, I unmuted your mic.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Kathy Meath. I am a member of Circle of Seasons Charter School Board. My address is, I'll give you the school's address, which is 8380 Moore Lane, Fogelsville, 18051. I just wanted to let you know that we are grateful that you have received our charter renewal documents. And I thank you for carefully reviewing them as you consider reviewing our charter for the next 5 years. That's all.
Thank you. Anybody else, Troy?
I do not see anyone else.
Okay, there'll be another opportunity at the end of the meeting if you wish to address the board as well. Okay, so we'll move on. Oh, let's see. To 1.07, the minutes. Approval.
Motion approved.
Motion Rex,
Second.
second Lizer. Any comments or questions on the minutes? None? All in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, no? All right, ayes have it. Okay, 1.08, we have recognition and presentation. So we have Mrs. Sacco with us today.
Yes, she is.
She's going to do an introduction.
Mrs. I unmuted your mic if you want to address it.
Okay, hello, Mrs. Sacco. Your mic is unmuted, so if you would like to address the board, now's your time. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Thanks for having me. I am super excited to be presenting to you Weisenberg Elementary's Veterans Day projects this year. As you know, every year, Weisenberg puts on a wonderful Veterans Day program. This year, we had to get creative as to how we could get that out there. And Weisenberg staff members and students did an excellent job. And what I wanted to bring to you tonight is our slideshow of our artwork that we were able to do during week 10 with Mr. Kitz's 5th grade class, Mrs. O'Neill's 3rd grade class, Mrs. Buddick's 2nd, Mrs. Snyder's 1st grade class, and Mrs. Marquardt's 1st grade online class. So I hope you enjoy our presentation.
Mrs. Sacco, this is Mrs. Hallman. Thank you very much for the board members' knowledge. There are real artwork in our boardroom in addition to the electronic artwork that Mrs. Sacco had the students put together for Veterans Day. Both of our elementary schools actually did Veterans Day programs as well and did it a little different this year than we're normal. I know Mrs. Burlett is on, so I'd like to ask if Mrs. Burlett would certainly like to make any comments.
Thank you, Mrs. Holman. Yes, we, first of all, thank you to Mrs. Sacco and all the children for their hard work. It was great to see everything they did. We weren't able to do our Veterans Day celebration as we normally do, but nonetheless, it was a great learning experience for the children. And we shared a reading that the teachers put together, as well as teachers did different things for each grade level, and children were still able to interact with many veterans and people still serving our country at this time. So it was a great day for the children, and we're looking forward to being able to do what we normally do next year. So thank you, Mrs. Sacco, for sharing that with us this evening.
Thank you.
Mrs. Sacco, thank you for joining us, and I think I will send an electronic certificate this year. So I will certainly send an electronic certificate to all of the students who contributed artwork, so be on the lookout for those.
All right.
If you have any comments or questions, you will certainly take them.
I'd just like to say thank you. It's nice to get this artwork up on the board, and it was really nice to see the presentation, see the kids at work. It's something that I think we all miss, and look forward to things getting back to normal real soon. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you to all our veterans listening.
Agree, we concur.
Okay, let's see. Next on the agenda, we have Dr. Kistler with an LTRC update. So if you could invite her in and unmute her.
As a reminder, while she's getting set up, Dr. Kistler is your school board representative that serves on the LTRC board. And a couple meetings ago, you asked for an update. And so she's joining us this evening to give you an update of our LTRC. Dr. Kistler?
Hello. I'm happy to be here tonight. And as I said at the last time I was at a board meeting, I just want to thank you all for the opportunity and the privilege of serving Northwestern Lehigh in this position. And I've been associated with the college for around 30 years. And so I've been there through a lot of ups and downs. And, you know, this is a strange time. However, community colleges always provide great opportunities during the down times in our culture. And that is certainly true right now. And when the pandemic started in March, LTRC was one of the first colleges in this area to go completely online. And that has remained so, with the exception of a few courses which need to have labs that are face-to-face, like nursing, some technology courses, etc., and some of the technology mechanics courses as well. So teachers and professors were already trained. Things have gone well as far as the instruction, I believe. And during these times, I think the community college really has an advantage because it is flexible, it is adaptable, and it really gives students the most opportunities really for their dollar. Lots of students are taking advantage of the food pantry and other helps. There are other monetary helps thanks to the CARES Act and donations through the foundation at LTRC that are helping students with things like childcare and all kinds of situations that we book vouchers that we rarely had to do before, but now the need is so great to help these students accomplish their goals. We also have other good news that has helped with our bottom line. And you've probably heard about the Amazon program, but I'd just like to just review that. One, it's called the Megatronics Robotics Apprenticeship. And it's the Amazon program. It started with 25 in the summer. They are full-time. It's a full-time training program held at LTRC. Then students, when they finish, sit for 4 national exams in that field. So 25 came in June. The second cohort will be graduating in December with 76 students. And these are students from coast to coast. They come in and they stay, I think it's at the Fairfield Inn down in Fogelsville, you know, and then they come into LTRC for their training. And next year, the anticipation is that there will be 320 apprentices that will go through the Amazon training program at LTRC. And this provides equipment and all kinds of funding that is certainly welcome. Plus the prestige of being one of the only training sites in the nation. I don't know if you've heard, but the Jim Thorpe Carbon County campus, we are not leasing it after this year, starting January 1. First of all, we do not need bricks and mortar since we are an online school right now. And the Jim Thorpe School District needed that room in their high school that we had been using to run several programs up there. So that lease has been expired. And in the last few months, we got the word that we received another Title III grant for $2.2 million to help in areas, especially with student success and first year retention. So those are some of the items that I thought you might be interested in. And I guess you realize that the CARES Act for the COVID did provide Northwestern Lehigh with about $10,000 through LTRIC for dual enrollment. And right now, I think you have 5 or 6 dual enrollment courses, and you have 158 students enrolled. So is there any other information or anything else I could add to this picture?
That's quite a bit, and it's exciting news considering the current conditions. Thank you. Does any board member have any questions or comments for her? No.
Let me add just one last thing. There's going to be a new community college in Erie. They did not have the kind of, in their county, the kind of situation we do where, we have so many opportunities. And I'm thinking about the students right now who are, we have a lot of students enrolled for our winter session, which is only 3 weeks. And I have a feeling these are students coming back from other universities and colleges who want to kind of get ahead with courses in the winter session. And students who may not be wanting to go back to college, maybe it's a little safer at home right now. So all the opportunities that the students have here, Erie wanted that too. So they looked around the state and they decided they most wanted to be like LTRIC. So I think that says it.
That's fantastic. I think we're very fortunate to have this community college in our area. And I want to thank you for representing Northwestern. And also, I'm sure LTRIC thanks you for representing them as well. So you're a great ambassador for both of us. Thank you very much. And thanks for coming today and presenting for us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, moving on. 1.09 is the board president's report. I do not have anything on behalf of Mr. Gallagher, so I'll move on to the superintendent's report. Mrs. Holman.
Thank you. I have 2 items this evening. One item is you heard earlier from a member of the Circle of Seasons board. She is correct. Earlier this week, we had requested on September 9th them to give us a number of documents. Earlier this week, we got a number of the documents that we've started to review. I did send an email and letter to Circle of Seasons tonight because we also asked a set of questions, which in the letter were called Exhibit B, which we did not receive. So I am asking them for our Exhibit B questions and scheduling an on-site visit with Circle of Seasons. So if I could take you back a few years ago when the first renewal happened, we did go down to Circle of Seasons. That might look a little different right now, but we did go down to Circle of Seasons with a team of administrators from this organization to review documents on site, do some staff interviews, etc. And so that's our plan for moving forward. About sometime around the middle of December, our request is to do an on-site visit at Circle of Seasons on December 15th. Circle of Seasons will let us know if that date is good by about the beginning of December. And so we're waiting on the Exhibit B answers to the questions. And so that is one item I would like to update you on. The other is certainly an update to how things are going in school. And so the decision surrounding in-person learning is always on the tip of everyone's tongue in terms of what we're working on. And it's difficult to manage the in-person learning and all the health and safety protocols, as you can imagine. As a district, we do value the in-person learning, and it's one of the reasons why we believe it is best for our children to remain in person. As we enter a time, as you all know, in Lehigh County, that the cases are increasing in the county as well as the positivity rating, I felt it was a good time to give you an update on what we have in place and some changes as a result of the Department of Health order from yesterday. And so we regularly meet with our health partners as well as receive information from surrounding county health departments that indicate that there's very little evidence of in-person instruction contributing to spread in the community. There's little evidence that a closure of any type will slow the spread in the community. When the school's health and safety plan is followed, the spread of the virus in school is very unlikely. That doesn't mean it won't ever happen, but it does mean that our health and safety protocols are extremely effective. We continue to monitor the county level of transmission in Lehigh County, our local data about the virus transmission, as well as the severity. We receive regular updates, as I mentioned, from our medical partner. They talk about improvements in medical treatments for COVID, which have greatly improved since the beginning of the virus. And we certainly evaluate our cases within our school buildings. We have very good protocols in place for both what we call containment as well as mitigation. Until a vaccine becomes readily available with some sort of prioritized distribution, the two ways to contain the virus is really containment and mitigation. We've had very few recent cases, and all of the cases certainly have been contained to a single individual. We're very thorough with the contact tracing efforts with the Department of Health, and we use isolation of the symptomatic person or a positive individual to contain the virus. We also have very good prevention and mitigation protocols with hand washing, social distancing, and mask wearing. As you know, we will also close a school with a targeted closure, as we did with Weisenberg, if it's necessary. Tonight, all of our families will receive an update on the orders from yesterday that will strengthen our face covering order, but I assure you they still are orders that are able to be implemented in school. Mask breaks are not to exceed 10 minutes, and the removal of face coverings for eating or drinking are still permitted as long as you are able to maintain 6 feet of social distancing. So unless a qualified exemption, this order does include face coverings must be worn at all times indoors and outdoors, unless there is one is able to maintain what they're calling sustained physical distancing. This update tonight will also include travel restrictions that become effective this Friday for anyone leaving the state of Pennsylvania. Anyone traveling outside the state will be required to provide proof of a negative test of COVID-19 within 72 hours or complete a 14-day quarantine upon entry. Tonight's update will not involve any change in instructional model at this time. We understand the difficulty with the decisions that surround COVID-19. We will take the necessary precautions will be necessary for our students and our families and our employees. Tonight's letter that will go out on the email will also ask our families and each of our individuals in our school community to please do their part to help prepare and remain as safe as possible as we can throughout the holiday season. The decisions that each family makes helps us follow the protocols in school and at home is what will allow us to continue to offer in-person instruction and do so in a safe manner. And so I will certainly take any questions about COS, the renewal process, or any of the updates I provided about in-person learning or our protocols.
Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the rest of the agenda. So we're at 2.01, personnel action. Looking for a motion.
So moved, Scheffler.
Thank you. Second,
Weiser.
Mr. Lizer, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any comments? Luann?
These are our usual business items. There's only 21 items tonight. Items highlighted in yellow were added since agenda was posted on Friday. I ask for your approval. Thank you.
Any comments or questions on personnel tonight? All right, all in favor, aye.
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 Opposed? Opposed, no.
I abstain.
Okay, we have one abstention. All right,
Thank you.
thank you. 3.01, continuity of education plan.
Mr. Hernandez, I will take this. You approved several continuity of education plans. One, when the pandemic first began in March, about what education would look like, I would say, in the March to May timeframe. You did approve a plan that looks very similar to the one that you see in front of you in August in preparation for what we would need to provide. We have since updated our schedules to reflect what they currently look like in each of our classrooms and would expect, should at any point we need to return to a remote learning model for a specific time period, we would implement those schedules that are in your plan, which are different than the one you approved in August. The other substantial difference is attendance. The state has updated attendance procedures for how we're to record attendance for any remote learning days. And so the attendance you will see in the plan is updated with our requirements for that. And so they are really the two major updates in the plan, attendance and the schedules. You did approve it, I believe it was August 17th. And so this needs your approval, will be implemented at such time as we would need to go in a remote learning status. So I will certainly take any questions should you have them. This was not on your agenda, but you did previously see this in August.
Okay, looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
All right, Mr. Lizer, second, please.
Second.
Mr. Rex, any comments or questions? All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, no. All right, thank you. Ayes have it. Okay, moving on. I was hoping to take 3.02, 3.03, and 3.04 into a consent agenda. We had covered these during the workshop meeting 2 weeks ago. 3.02 is the Future Ready Comprehensive Plan. 3.03 is the Charter Reform Resolution. And 3.04 is the COVID-19 Disaster Emergency School Health and Safety Grant. So if we are okay with that, looking for a motion.
So moved to take a consent agenda.
Thank you. Motion by Mr. Lizer.
Second.
Second by Mr.
Oh,
Rex.
sorry.
Okay.
All right, are any comments or questions on these items here? Any follow-up?
No follow-up. I mean, certainly the charter form resolution is the one that we will file with PSBA per your request, and I think it's an important topic that we'll continue to advocate. This won't be the first nor the last time you will see that. Leslie gave you an update on the COVID-19 funds. I don't believe that's changed, and comprehensive plan. This is the final review after your waiting period.
To be submitted to PDE on November 30th.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Any comment?
Yeah, I just want to also mention that the charter school reform is definitely something that I'm more than in favor of. It's a topic that needs to be brought to light and to be addressed. And if we can't get anywhere with our local legislators, we need to band together to get this moving through the state. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? All right, thank you. Ayes have it. Okay, policy 4.01, second reading and final approval of the two policies, immunization, communicable diseases, and communicable diseases, and physical examination. Troy, any comments?
No additional comments or requests for changes. Just to give a quick background, we presented this to the board in October for first reading. They were reviewed by myself, the director of HR, the director of student services. At that point in time, we put them forward. They were not on the workshop meeting earlier, but they have not received any additional changes and are ready for a second and final approval.
Thank you. Okay, looking for a motion? Motion, Lister. Second, please.
Second.
Second from Scheffler. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes have it. Thank you. Okay. Operations 5.01, Clearview School Services. This was covered during the workshop meeting. And any comments before?
I don't.
Okay, so looking for a motion.
Motion.
I'll second.
All right, motion from Mrs. Scheffler, second by Mr. Rex. Any comments or questions on this one? All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? All right, ayes have it, thank you. District Finances, 6.01, Pediatric Therapeutic Services.
I believe Mrs. Edmonds is on. This is just an update to a speech contract. Mrs. Edmonds?
Yes, sorry, Jen. Sorry, I couldn't hit my mute fast enough. That is an update for a speech contract. We did have the same company working with us in the spring, and we're carrying through and working with another speech therapist for services for the fall.
It is the 50-cent increase is the why the contract came back to you.
All right, looking for a motion to approve 6.01.
So moved.
Mr. Lizer, second, please. Mrs. Lister, thank you. Any comments or questions? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. All right, ayes have it, thank you. Okay, next we have 6.02 through 6.05, and they were all vetted at the workshop meeting 2 weeks ago. So maybe we can get a consent agenda on this. We have 6.02, which is committed fund balance resolution. 6.03 is the CLIU Idea B, section 611, use of funds agreement. And 6.04 is the CLIU Idea B, section 619, use of funds agreement as well. So any comments related to that? Okay, looking for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve 602 through 604.
Thank you from Mr. Lizer. Second, please.
Second.
Second from Mrs. Scheffler. Any comments or questions for these three? Okay, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? All right, thank you. Ayes have it. Okay. Sorry, 6.05, I didn't comment on that, that was the bills, but I had included that. Is that correct?
You did 05, you
You didn't do 05.
I didn't do,
I only did 02 to 04.
okay, I'm sorry. All right, I saw that there was an asterisk there, I skipped it. All right, so we'll do 05 right now. 6.05 is the reports. Any comments?
No change unless there's any questions.
Okay, looking for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve 605.
Thank you, Mr. Lizer. Second, please.
Second.
Second from Mr. Rex. Comments, questions? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? All right, ayes have it. Thank you. Sorry I missed that one. Okay, 6.06 is the bills. Anything that we should be aware of in the bills?
Yeah, I'd just like to point out, you'll see there's a Fund 10 check summary attached that has a date of 10/21 from last month. We realized that we duplicated the file and had two pre-check registers instead of a check register and a summary. So we wanted to just make sure that the official report got in the minutes for bringing it back. And then if there's any specific questions on bills for November, then
Thank you. All right, so looking for a motion to approve, please. Motion by Mr. Rex. Second, please. I saw you now, so
I was reading it out.
Second.
Second by Mr. Liza. Any comments or questions? Okay, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
I abstain.
Okay, and we have one abstention by Mrs. Scheffler. All right, ayes have it. Thank you. Okay, we're rolling along here. Okay, other reports. We have the enrollment report.
I do not have any comments unless you have any questions.
No one's knocking on the door to get in?
We've had a few kids, children return, from online, some new enrollments from other schools. Not a significant amount moving either way. We'd be surprised, even our principal said at second marking period, we weren't sure if there would be a shift one way or another. There was more of a shift in person. I would say in the last few days, we've gotten more requests about online going back the other way, than at the marking period shift. They're not necessarily leaving us just switching modalities within the district.
Okay, it's just information, no action
It
report,
is
correct?
correct.
Okay, 7.02, foundation report.
Yes, I have a brief report tonight. First off, we'd like to report that on October 25th, they had the annual clay shoot at the Lehigh Valley Sporting Clays, and we are glad to say that there was a record number of attendees this year. So that was a really good fundraiser for the group this year. I'd also like to publicly recognize the support, the continued support that we are receiving from the foundation through EITC funding. They actually purchased $70,000 of new interactive whiteboards for our elementary teachers. And they also purchased software through the Lions Fulwiler grant that they applied for and received. And that is going to be used to assist us with teacher and student collaboration. So we're really happy that we still are in very good partnership with the foundation, and we're grateful for them.
Ditto, the foundation has continued to be remarkable in their support. As you know, and DJ has mentioned several times in his comments, as well as Mrs. Fitzel continues to come to us and say, what can we do? How can we help you? I can't say enough in terms of, I was at the fundraiser for the clay shoot. It was probably the largest, as Leanne said, they've ever had. And so those events are what continue to allow them to be able to fund some of the important things that are in our classrooms and our teachers and students are able to use. So thank you to them.
Yes, thank you very much. It's very welcomed and well appreciated. And I'm sure the rest of the board feels the same as well, that we are very lucky to have a great foundation such as ours. Thank you very much. And if you would pass that along, that would be fantastic. Okay, 7.03, committee reports. Intermediate unit.
Yes, Mr. Hernandez, we met on Monday evening. We had a presentation from the staff regarding the transition programs that they have at the IU for students generally between the ages of 19 and 21. These are students who under IDEA are entitled to an education to the age of 21. These are largely transition programs that are oriented towards training young folks for employment. They have about 225 students, I think, enrolled in 150 businesses in Lehigh County that support these programs. So it was really encouraging to see the amount of effort and the success that they are having with transitioning students from their academic programs in those last few years into employment opportunities within the community. The other issue that I've talked to you about before is a good news, bad news thing in regard to the behavioral health services, which I think are really, really important programs in terms of supporting students with behavioral and or mental health issues. I shared with you before that these programs were in jeopardy due to funding. And in fact, the BHRS program, which I think is Behavioral Health Referral Services, is going to close on December 31st because of a lack of funding. These are services that are provided in the community to families and students to help them with their overall adjustment. So that was the downside of it. The good side of it is that the partial hospitalization program, which operates in school buildings in support of students in their academic situations, and the outpatient services are going to be able to continue. That funding has been worked out. So 2 of the 3 major programs they have will continue through the rest of the year. And unfortunately, one of them will be terminated. And that's about it from the IU. Oh, the general operating budget too. Mrs. Holman, I think you've already been given that information, and it's a very minor adjustment in next year's budget, which comes back for approval, I think, to the board in January.
Yes,
That's
Dr. Corporal, I believe it is January, and yes, they did send us the preliminary parts of the budget for both the general operating as well as our special services.
Okay, that's it.
All right, thank you very much. Okay. I lost my spot here. Are we on the LCTI?
Yes.
Sir. Thank you.
Yes, so we had a meeting on the 28th. That would be the Wednesday. A Zoom meeting as well. We talked about the normal business, but the key part was the presentation for reach out because of no open house, which I presume they sent to all the guidance counselors as well.
Yes, and Mrs. Yadish actually sent it out to all of our students, the virtual.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a very nice presentation, very well put together in light of no having in-person stuff for open house. So that was the Wednesday meeting. Thursday then, Mark Perna had a presentation. I don't know if you're familiar. Mark Perna is like a borderline motivational speaker, promoter of vocational education. So he had a presentation on Thursday night, geared towards the students more. And there was a lot of back and forth, students asking questions. Hey, what happens if I come here? What happens if I don't come here? What can I do if I do? So all those things. But very nice. That was Thursday evening. So those are the two events for LCTI that week.
Thank you very much. Next, we have L-Tri-C, but I know that we covered that in the beginning, so I'll move on to the Recreation Commission. And I'll take that one here. We haven't had meetings the last couple months. Activity's been very light, but we do continue with the maintenance up at the fields. And the fields are available for use. And I know people do take advantage of it, but under the circumstances, I know it's a little bit light, but that's really all at the moment. And the walking trail is up, so get out there, get some fresh air, and then see the nice little trail. Thank you. Okay, let's see, old business. We have board committees. Now we vetted this at the workshop meeting as well. The main addition was adding Mrs. Lister to the School Health Advisory Council. So thank you for volunteering for that. And if anybody has any concerns or questions, feel free to raise those. Are there any comments or questions related to that at this time, though? Okay, thank you.
I think that does need action.
This it just says public discussion. Do we need action?
Jessica on? Jessica, do we need action on board committees?
I would just do it to be safe.
I think we need action on board
Okay,
committees.
no worries then. Looking for a motion to approve the committees and the members.
Motion to approve the committees and the members.
All right, Mr. Rex, second, please. Second by Ms. Eliza. Okay, all those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, no. All right, ayes have it. Thank you. Okay, new business. We do have a new business item here. The Assistant Board Secretary, we need to approve. We need approval to appoint Christy Spanitz as the Assistant Board Secretary. So with that, looking for a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve.
Motion. Okay.
Second.
All right. Did you get that?
Got
All
it.
right. Everybody's jumping at this one. Thank you.
We don't need Bill anymore. We'll make a record.
All right. So I have a motion and I have a second. So all those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, no. All right. Thank you. And thank you.
Yeah, I have to thank Christy because we came over and said, will you do this? And she said, sure. Without really knowing what she was getting herself into. So I can't thank Christy enough for being willing to do this. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you for bearing with me while I get myself settled, but we're getting there.
Thank you very much. I do have an item here that I'd like to mention. Next month's meeting is the reorganization meeting. So I just wanted to get some thoughts out there. If there is any current board member who is interested in an officer position, that would be president, vice president, and secretary, correct? The treasurer is already under the 2-year term. Think about it. reach out to me and then I can keep track of those parties that are interested. And we'll move on from there. So let me know. Thank you. Okay, so now we are back around communications 10.01. Courtesy of the floor, this is the second opportunity for those that are in attendance if they would like to address the board. Please raise your hand in the meeting and we'll get you unmiked. Anybody? Once, twice? All right, thank you. 10.02, communications from the secretary. Do we have any
I don't believe
tonight?
there are any.
Okay, that's easy. 10.03, administrative board sharing. So I will leave it to Dr. Sosnovic to select the order tonight, please. Thank you.
All right, going from the bottom up, Mr. Givler. Actually, I'm going to spare Mr. Givler since this is his first board meeting, and I'll skip a couple, then go back to him. Mrs. Pooley.
Nothing more, just happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Mrs. Stitzel.
I have nothing further either.
Chief Netarostik.
Nothing to add other than nice working with all the other administrators.
Mrs. Burlap.
I have nothing further. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Just a few brief comments, please. We are culminating the end with the end of the fall season. Again, thank you for your support and allowing us to compete when many others made their schools delay. So we appreciate that. Boys cross country, they were league season champs and District 11 2A champs. Girls soccer were league and District 11 3A champs. Boys soccer, league silver medalists and District 11 3A champs. Field hockey were league and District 11 1A champs. And our football team will be competing for the District 11 4A championship tomorrow night versus Allentown Central Catholic. So listen, I know it's cliche, but all of our kids, all of our coaches were truly champions navigating through a COVID-laden season. So my hat's off to them. Tomorrow night, regardless, the fall 2000 season does come to an end. And believe it or not, we start winter sport tryouts and practices this Friday, 2 days from now. DOH did throw us, as explained earlier, did throw us a little bit of a curveball yesterday. They're now mandating that all players must now wear masks when they're actually engaged in the activity. The PIAA has taken that on, and they're going to try and get some leniency on that. But as you can imagine, wrestling and playing basketball with a mask on might prove to be a little bit problematic. But if it doesn't change, we will abide by it and continue to do what we need to do to provide these opportunities. Happy to report that our marching band successfully ran their program this year when many said they wouldn't be able to. We had absolutely zero incidents, and that's a tribute to Mrs. Klein and how creative she has gotten. She's actually rolled right into concert band rehearsal and chorus rehearsal. So again, she stays up on the information. The National Federation just came out with a new aerosol study, which is actually pretty good news. So her and I are going to get together a little bit later this week to make sure we can move forward. And we're proud to report that we did hold fall drama tryouts this week. Cast list has been published, and we're looking to do a show on our stage and hopefully live stream it towards right before the holiday break. I think it's like the 19th and 20th, that Saturday and Sunday. So if we're able to, we'll try and get some parents in there at least to see the show, but we will live stream that. And then also it's bittersweet, but many of you guys know Coach Kelly Bleem. Coach Kelly Bleem has been our girls soccer coach for 23 years. She was here when I first got here, and she's been an absolute pleasure to work with, and has led our program to many titles. More importantly, helped raise some nice young women, successful women in society. And we truly appreciate everything she's done. Kelly has decided to step down at the conclusion of this season, and again, hats off to Kelly. And once I have the opportunity to give her a proper farewell and recognition ceremony, we'll do so, but I don't want to do it during COVID times because it just wouldn't be as good. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Oakes,
Nothing further. Thank you.
Mrs. Edmonds,
Sorry, congratulations to Chief Ned and best wishes to you. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And also welcome to Mr. Givler.
Mrs. Stauffenberg,
Just good luck, Chief. It's been a pleasure working with you, and thank you for your service to our students and our staff at Northwestern, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Mr. Givler.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to extend a very heartfelt thank you to the faculty, staff, and students who have made my first week thus far very special. So thank you to all those. Chief, good luck to you. It was a pleasure working with you in the time that we had, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone as well.
Mrs. Yadish.
Sorry, I just want to officially welcome Matt Givler, our new assistant principal at the high school. It has been wonderful having him at the high school this week. So we welcome you to Northwestern Lehigh. And just to follow up with Jason, a public thank you to him for getting our kids on the field and into their activities this fall. It meant a lot to them and to our community. So thank you for all that you did to make that happen.
Ms. Frisbee.
Just happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and best of luck, Chief. We'll miss you.
Ms. Matika.
Chief, all the best. Stop in and visit, and a happy and safe Thanksgiving to everyone.
Brings it to me, Chief, best wishes. Thanks for your strong leadership in helping to ensure a safe learning environment for our students and staff. You'll be missed, and I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving going into next week. Ms. Holman.
I just have the same few. Mr. Givler, welcome. I hear the elation in Mrs. Yadish's voice. She's not kidding. She's glad you're here. Chief, best wishes. I told you when you said you were resigning, you will always be a parent and a resident, so you have to stop in because you're close to home. And happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
All right, thank you very much. I think I called it administrative and board sharing. It should have been building sharing. My bad. Okay, so we are moving on to board member sharing now, and I'll go around starting at my right here, and we'll toggle through in and out with the Zoom meeting. So, Mr. Rex.
Yeah, hope everybody has a safe Thanksgiving. Be careful out there, and best wishes to the chief as he moves on.
Sure, Mrs. Scheffler. Mrs. Scheffler.
Yes, nothing other than, of course, have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. It'll look a little different, but we still have a lot to be thankful for.
Proceeding, would that take us to Mrs. Lister then?
Okay. I just want to thank everyone for going above and beyond, trying to keep everyone safe, but yet still really going above and beyond to have been an enriching school experience. So, that's not easy. So thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Dr. Warfel.
Just wishing everybody a safe and best holiday you can possibly have. And good luck.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Leiser.
Yeah, I just want to go back to the beginning. Thanks to Mrs. Sacco for bringing us some great artwork for Veterans Day. Great video. It was fun to see that. See kids kind of looks like, from at home as well as on site and in school. Zimmy, great job bringing some of that fall sports to life, during this tough time. So really appreciate the heavy lift on your end and the support of the staff to make that happen. So some great accolades to our teams this fall, and looking for a great spring. So everyone have a great holiday weekend, and hopefully we'll get back to real life when the new year starts.
All right, thank you. Is Mr. Cassiano, did he join us? Okay, Mr. Fastinger is not here? Okay, so that comes to me then. So a little redundancy. Yes, thank you, Mrs. Sacco, and the tremendous amount of effort you put forth with the students, and the artwork is very nice. It was very bare in here for a while, and it is very welcome. And thank you for doing that and recognizing our veterans. Congratulations to Mr. Zimmerman and the fall sports teams and all of their accomplishments. Watching the news, they referred to Northwestern as Title Town again. So the bar is raised and it's pretty high. So hopefully we can maintain that for a while. I'd like to also wish Chief good luck and welcome Mr. Givler. And have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and be safe. Thank you. Okay, so we did have a couple meeting announcements here. We had an executive session for personnel that was held after the board meeting on October 21st in the boardroom. A workshop meeting was held November 4th at 7 p.m. in the boardroom. It was an executive session for personnel held after the workshop meeting as well on the 4th in the boardroom. We have an executive session for personnel that will be held tonight after this meeting. There will be a Zoom sent out for that one as well for those that are outside. Is that correct? Okay. There will be no workshop meeting in December. And as I stated earlier, the reorganization and board meeting will be held next month and as December 2nd, 2020, 7 p.m. in the boardroom. Okay, that's it for this meeting. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Mr. Rex, second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Lizer. Thank you.
7:55.
That was the loudest.